So when you're considered a white supremacist or even a suspected white supremacist, that is a mental disorder. All right. If you're labeled as that and you're classified as white, okay, under the compensatory definition, if you're classified as white, you're automatically labeled a suspected white supremacist. That ideology is a mental disorder. It's a mental illness. So trying to rule over people who have darker hue than you, who have more melanin than you, who are classified as black or African American, right? You want to rule over these people, our African brothers and sisters, okay? You want to rule over these people, and you want to be supreme over these people, our people, right? That's not only a mental illness, right? Because you consider those people 3/5 of a person, subhuman. You know, continue to eradicate, destroy our people for over 500 years since the inception of the transatlantic slave trade in 1505. Well over 500 years, right? I consider guys like Keith Olbermann a suspected white supremacist. I put him in the same boat as a guy like Mike Ditka, who just recently said that black people never suffered oppression the last 100 years. Matter of fact, that statement right there puts you as a white supremacist, as far as I'm concerned. Making that kind of statement puts you as a white supremacist. But my point is that if you're classified as white, Caucasian, etc., you live in a bubble. You don't see things in quote unquote normal society. You don't see things in a normalcy way, if that's a word. Normalcy way, right? You don't see things how other people would see who are actually classified as non-white. You see them differently, right? Because you have a thing that is classified for you as white privilege. So you, like I said, you see things differently. So when a guy like Keith Olbermann makes a statement that after 27 years of doubt about rap, I am now an Eminem fan. So again, suspected white supremacists / white supremacists, they live in a bubble. They live in a fantasy world. So a guy like Keith Olbermann omits 27 years of hip hop with countless artists that have been talking about political issues, black societal issues. As you can see right here, like artists like Razkaz, Immortal Technique, Talib Kweli, Mos Def, Poor Righteous Teachers, Public Enemy. I mean, I can go on and on and on. He omits those artists, but goes right to Eminem. And listen, Eminem is cool with me. You know, for me, and this is my personal opinion, I think Eminem is overrated, okay? I think he's overrated as an artist. But in terms of his contribution to hip hop, I cannot knock that. I give him much respect. He is a legend in that aspect, for sure. All right? So according to Keith Olbermann, he became not only an Eminem fan, but he has his doubts on rap, which means he's a rap fan now, and he talks about rap, not hip hop, which is another Freudian slip. Actually, that's not a Freudian slip for him. He's just very ignorant when it comes to hip hop culture. So he now is a fan of hip hop and Eminem after 27 years and omits all of the countless artists that I named and a plethora of others that have always talked about on a grassroots level, like Razkaz, who says in his Instagram post, talking about black society issues, political issues, you know, the quote unquote conscious movement. It has always been that foundation to hip hop since day one. And I totally agree with Razcast's statement in this Instagram post where he says, no disrespect to homie M, but I find it amazingly insulting how hashtag Keith Olbermann and BET, owned by white Viacom, facts of course, can opt out hashtag whitewash political hip hop when brothers like myself, Immortal Technique, and K Rhino and others have consistently been doing the grassroots work lyrically. And especially hashtag BET Hip Hop Awards are laughable at best, especially after 10 years of promoting hashtag niggery. Wow, this is all sham. 100% facts. And I happened to watch the BET Hip Hop Awards last night for the first time in like, I don't know how long. First of all, let me tell you this. I had no idea that Eminem was gonna be doing the cypher. I had no idea. I watched it. You know what? I don't even know why the hell I watched it, to be honest with you. I really don't. Maybe I was bored. I normally don't watch the BET awards or hip hop awards at all, but I just decided to watch it for some reason, and I watched it all the way through actually. And it was a typical, BET Hip Hop Awards. I'm not a fan of DJ Khaled at all. I think he's a culture vulture. I think once shit gets real, because again, you have a lot of people in hip hop that are classified as non-black or non-black rather, who appropriate hip hop culture. They make a living off of hip hop culture, but when it comes to talking about real issues that are addressed to black society, our community, etc., they're nowhere to be found, right? I can't now. Eminem is a little different. Eminem not only made contributions to hip hop, he started record labels and crews and employed black people in his companies. I can't say that for DJ Khaled at all. DJ Khaled, I consider him a culture vulture, which is why I'm not a fan of him. But anyway, I watched the hip hop awards, and the ciphers was cool. It wasn't cool. I was not impressed. They still had the same format, DJ Premier, doing those damn hip New York boom bap beats, those old school break beats. Y'all need to change up the format. And then when Eminem came on, it was different. He started a cappella and finished the verse a cappella, and he was going straight after Donald Trump, aka Clockwork Orange. I was vastly impressed. He had my attention the whole way through that cypher. I just checked on YouTube because I watched it live, or actually it was recorded, but I watched it on TV. I go on YouTube and I see there's over 10 million views on his cypher verse after less than 24 hours. That's crazy. And obviously he's coming out with a new album, I believe next month, that's dropping. But I was highly impressed with the freestyle that he did. I really loved it because, and the climate that we're living in today with Donald Trump, aka Clockwork Orange, being the new face of white supremacy, constantly attacking the NFL, trying to, bully the NFL and making sure that the players, or the slave players, abide by their slave masters' rules and not so-called disrespecting the flag by kneeling for socio-economical injustices for people classified as black or African American, police brutality, aka domestic terrorism, systemic oppression. Those are the things that people like Colin Kaepernick were protesting about. But no white supremacist is going to address that. They're just going to address the fact that somebody kneeled and so-called disrespect the flag, when of course, like I keep saying, these white supremacists have been disrespecting the flag since the inception of those damn troglodytes making the damn flag, because they always go to the games dressed up in flag garb, which is against the U.S. flag code, You can't have the flag in a horizontal position. That's done in damn near every game before a football game. It's held flat. There's so many code violations that these white supremacists violate, right? But it omits people who are classified as black or it omits people who are classified as white. Okay? It only applies to people who are classified as black or African American as so-called disrespecting the flag. Because there is no rule, according to the U.S. flag code, that kneeling is disrespectful to the flag. It does not say kneeling is disrespectful to the flag whatsoever. But according to the rule book of white supremacy by Donald Trump, aka Clockwork Orange, that is disrespectful. He is like I said, he is the new face of white supremacy. He is going off code of white supremacy. He's not following the norm of white supremacy. He is going rogue of white supremacy. Point blank and simple. Okay. So back at what Keith Olbermann was talking about, you know, he says that he's now a fan of Eminem after 27 years, and he had doubts in rap, and he mentioned his best political writing of the year. Right. Again, I give my props to Eminem and his verse. Incredible verse. I love the verse. But again, like Razkaz says, there's been plenty of grassroots MCs who are independent hip hop artists that have been doing this for years, decades. Razkaz has been in the game for decades. Immortal Technique is a seasoned veteran. Same with K Rhino. Same with Mos Def and Talib Kweli. Poor Righteous Teachers. You know, the list goes on and on. I pulled up an article that mentions some other artists as well that Keith should know about. You know, you got your Dead Prez, you know, even J. Kobe spitting, you know, stuff. Jedi Mind Tricks, Ice Cube, Roots, Cannibal Ox. And, you know, I'm just randomly naming people off this list, not going line by line. Brother Ali, Mr. Lift, 7L Esoteric, The Coop, Chance the Rapper. You know what I'm saying? The list goes on. The list goes on. And he's not talking about these artists. You know why? Because he doesn't know about these artists. Again, white supremacists / suspected white supremacists live in a bubble. They see what they want to see. These artists have been putting in work for decades. 95% of these artists has been putting in work for decades, talking about the same social political issues, talking about people like Donald Trump, everything in the political sphere. You had MCs talking about this since the inception of hip hop, basically. But again, these suspected white supremacists, they want to omit all of that stuff and go straight to one of the most popular rappers that's out right now is Eminem. Okay, Eminem is a legend. But they go straight to him and omit every other thing that's happened independently outside of Eminem, and they want to put Eminem as the face and the savior for going against Donald Trump. Well, we know that's not true. Just like Razkaz said. No disrespect to the homie M, but I find it amazingly insulting how Keith Olbermann and BET, a white-owned Viacom, can opt out and hashtag whitewash political hip-hop when brothers like myself, Immortal Technique, and K Rhino have been putting in work for years, lyrically, on the grassroots level. Facts. So this is what the dominant white society, the mainstream white supremacist media, are now spinning this. Yes, Eminem went in on Donald Trump. He's the first artist to go against Donald Trump. Or they say, here is the list of artists that went against Donald Trump. Right? But guys like all these indie artists, Immortal Technique, Razkaz, they're not mentioned at all. You know, I've been a fan of Razkaz and Soul on Ice. check the first album he did, Soul on Ice, which borrows content from Dr. Francis Cress Welsing's book, The ISIS Papers. That's how I got introduced to Dr. Francis Cress Welsing, through Razzcast. So y'all should check out his first album. All right. So again, family, you can't admit 27 years of hip hop without acknowledging guys like Razzcast, Immortal Technique, Mos Def, Talib Kweli, The Roots. You know what I'm saying? J Electronica. You know, Zion I. You know, Planet Asia, Rasco, the Godfather Rasco, Godfather Don. These guys have been putting in work on an independent level and talking about political issues, black societal issues for decades. But again, white supremacists / suspected white supremacists live in a bubble. They omit that history. They choose to ignore that history and go straight to the most popular white rapper out right now, Eminem. I'm a fan of rap now because of Eminem. Apparently these white supremacists, these suspected white supremacists, again, live in a bubble. They don't care to look outside of that bubble. Point blank and simple. All right. So anyway, family, those are my thoughts on that. Let me know what you guys think about Eminem's freestyle on the BET Hip Hop Awards. Let me know if you saw the BET Hip Hop Awards. What did you guys think? I personally didn't care for it. Like I said, I don't even know why I watched it. I did watch it. I was just impressed by everybody's really talking about Eminem's verse. Nobody else is talking about anything else. I know Cardi B won a whole bunch of awards, but I don't care. You know, I don't care about no Cardi B. You know, so listen, these new rappers that's coming out. The only new rapper that I really liked that I saw on the show was a chick called Cody Shane. She has a very unique style, and she's versatile as well. I like Cody Shane. But anyway, family, those are my thoughts. Leave your thoughts about the BET Hip Hop Awards, Eminem's verse, the ciphers. Let me know what you guys think in the comments section. Until next time, family, Chauncey, aka the Black Separatist, signing out. Peace.